Hello, Discovery and Cellar Collective. Welcome to your July Collective. So we are in the deep heat of summer. So I hope that these wines will be perfect for you to drink now. Because it's July, I definitely wanted to get some rosé in your boxes for sure. But there's another reason why I wanted to get some rosé in your boxes is because while you're watching this or while you're grabbing your wines, I'm actually in Provence, France with a group. We're doing a group tour. So with my other company, I do tours to France. And so Provence is where it's at. So I'm in the Provence mood and I thought, let's just feature this beautiful region in both our Discovery and Cellar Collective. So before we get into your individual bottles, let's talk about a little bit about the region itself, because I really feel that Provence is quite misunderstood. So don't get me wrong, it is rosé country. About 9 out of 10 of the bottles that leave the region are rosé bottles. But there's so much more to the region than that. It's a pretty massive wine region that is very diverse. And it's actually the oldest French wine region, or the wine region in France. So basically, it was established in 600 BC when Marseille was founded, and there were vines planted at that time. So if you think about it as well, it's about 1,000 years older than the establishment of Bordeaux. So we're talking lots of history. But what makes Provence unique is the terroir, because you have this wine region right on the Mediterranean Sea. And then right behind it, you have the Alpine or the Alps mountains. And then you have a couple of other factors that really affect the overall terroir or overall climate. One being about 2,800 hours of sun a year. And then also you have this crazy mistral, which is this wind that comes rolling down from the Rhone Valley. But this is a great piece to making sure the vines are disease-free and getting lots of airflow, even when you have a lot of that heat. So it's a very different sort of region that provides several different kinds of wines because of it. There's tons of different soils as well. So you have kind of this patchwork of limestone, schist, clay, some red, rich iron soils. And then you have about 20 native grapes. So everything from your big players like Grenache, Sancerre, Syrah, Mourvedre, to kind of smaller and lesser known grapes, which we will discover a little bit in the clubs today. And then finally, you have this thing that the French call la garrigue. And this is the wild kind of shrub land that you'll find of rosemary and thyme and lavender and juniper and pine. And you'll find this shrubland all around the vines, within the vines. And honestly, it gives your wine a very special Provence style to it. So we should discover that La Garrigue in pretty much every bottle that we do for the club in July. So that's a little bit about the Provence region. Let's get into your individual wine. Welcome, Cellar Collective, to your July Collective. Okay, so we're going to start with your rosé, but you can already notice in my glass, this is not your typical rosé. I don't know if you can tell, but it doesn't look pale pink. It's more of like a copper golden color. So let's deep dive. This is a domain that I'm so excited to bring you. This is Clos Cibonne, and it's such a famous producer in the south of France. Not for your typical refreshing rosés, but for rosés that have a lot of complexity and a lot of it's very food friendly. So we're actually going to go to Clos Cibonne with our trip. So I'll probably have way more information for you later, but I'll bring you what I have right now. So this is their Tibouren Rosé. This is their Cuvée Tradition 2023. So this house has a lot of history. So we're dating back to like 1797. And it was founded by a French naval officer called Jean-Baptiste de Cibonne, and he worked for King Louis XVI. This is located in La Prade, which is known to have this grape that you have here, which we'll talk about in just a second. So the house history really takes off in the 1930s with Andre Roux. He really championed for Provence. He championed for a native ancient grape that was about to go distinct. And so he's a very important figure in the Provence region. So the grape that's in this bottle that we're talking about is the Tibouren grape. So this is not really found outside of this area of France. And if it is, it's very, very small amounts, mainly because this grape is a little bit difficult in the vineyard. It takes some patience, and sometimes it's very inconsistent with the yields. So it's not so fun in the vineyards for some people. So it's kind of become one of the forgotten grapes. But because of Andre Roux, it really still has stayed really strong in this area. So he also helped the Côte de Provence be granted their AOC status in 1977. And with that kind of push for the Tibouren grape and for the AOC status of Côte de Provence, Clos Cibonne actually received its Cru Classé status, which is one of 18 estates that you'll find in the south of France that has it. So the Tibouren grape is a red grape that is known for their rosés, and the rosé that it makes is quite has a lot of potential for ageability. So what makes this wine more unique than pretty much anything we have in any of the boxes is the way that it's made. So it's the winery side of things. So once this wine goes through its fermentation, it is then aged in 100-year-old 5,000 liter foudres. And while it's aging in those foudres, it's actually aging under a layer of yeast. And that yeast is to protect the wines from being fully oxidized, but also allows for this beautiful, nutty, savory aspect to the wine. And this is a method that has been adopted from Jura, which is just outside of Burgundy, and then also from sherry, if you know that a little bit more. So think sherry-like with the notes here. So let's go ahead and give this one a try. So as you can see, the color is completely different than the rosés you'll find in the rest of France. And it's actually the only house that I know of that does this this aging method. Okay, so yeah, it's nothing. It's so on the nose, you're immediately getting kind of this citrus and white peach and nectarine, but you also get a little bit of this nuttiness, and it's more on this already kind of like on the savory side. I also get kind of like blood orange zest to it, and a little bit of like dried herbs. Wow. Wow. Okay. So this wine, it's all about the texture. There's some weight to it. And immediately I want food with this wine. It's not like a summer sipper. I want food with it. It has kind of the same citrus, blood orange, dried herbs to it, but it has like this beautiful hazelnut, and it also has this beautiful salinity. It has a very long finish. The acidity is there. It's making me want more, but honestly, I'm obsessed with the way that it feels on the palate. It is so gorgeous. It has a lot of weight to it, but it's really, really lovely. So I would pair this with like grilled tuna or roast chicken or like an aged comté or like saffron white rice. There's a lot of pairings with this one. So it's really, really, this is great for bringing it to kind of like a dinner party. So anyways, I absolutely love this. I hope that you guys do too, and cheers.